Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule of being dead to be with us today, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, my pleasure.
Let's start from the beginning. I understand you lost many people who were close to you at a young age. How did the deaths of your brothers and your mother affect you?
Well, considering I never had a father, these three were a big part of my life. As my mother and I were coping with the loss of my big bros, Hugh and Bobby, my mother, bless her heart, wanted to help with the war efforts, but ended up getting sick with cholera and passing away 7 months after Robert. But I turned that sadness into determination and rage, all directed towards those no good rotten British.
Oh my! What'd you do after your mother's death?
Well, after living with some relatives for a while, I took some time to embrace my youth. At age 17, I decided to pursue a career in law. After a few years, I found myself a wife. Well, technically, she was someone else's wife at the time, but that's not important. And I settled down at my new law firm. I kept working my way up through the ranks, from congressman to senator, then eventually Major General of the Tennessee Militia.
I hear there was some drama with the position of Major General. Care to talk about that?
Well, basically, the old fart John Sevier got jealous that I beat him for the position. So then he starts accusing me and my dear wife of adultery. And I was just not going to have someone talking about my bae like that. So naturally, I challenged him to a duel. The duel ended up not happening, but we all know who would have won. Am I right, Carla?
Being a military leader can affect people in different ways. How did this impact your life?
Yes.
Okay. So, why did you decide to run for presidency in 1824?
I just had a pretty good run, which includes my win at the Battle of New Orleans and all them Indians I killed. I had gained a pretty good fan base, so I decided, yeah, why not?
So, how did the election go?
I would have won it if it weren't for that meddling John Quincy Adams and his stupid, corrupt bargain.
So, what happened in the next election in 1828?
Well, let's just say that things got a little heated. I think my favorite campaign slogan I used was, "Vote for Jackson who can fight, not for Adams who can write." Nerd. And I showed him because I won. Perks of being the champion of the common man.
The champion of the common man was one of your nicknames. Can you tell me about your other popular one? Old Hickory?
They called me Old Hickory because I was so wise and respectable. Just kidding. It's definitely because I carry around my old cane that I used to beat people senselessly with. Funny story, actually. There was this one loser named Richard Lawrence who decided it'd be a good idea to try and carry out the first presidential assassination. So he comes up to me with two pistols, not one, but two. And guess what? They both misfire. So what do? I beat the living crap out of him with my cane, of course. My bodyguards tried to pull me off that scumbag. Good times. Old Hickory strikes again.
What other duels have you been involved in?
Well, some say I've been in anywhere from 13 to hundreds of duels. I've honestly lost count by now. But there was this one time at the racetrack where this spaz Charles Dickinson decided he wanted a piece of me. So, being the generous man that I am, I let him have the first shot. He got a pretty nice shot and hit me in the chest. Which reminds me, I still have that in my chest to today. But yeah, don't worry. I killed that Dickinson right after he got me.
What prompted you to switch gears from politics to military?
I got bored and wanted to kill some Brits, some Indians, anyone really. I'm kind of a lunatic.
So how did you feel when you found out you won the election of 1828 by a landslide?
Well, aside from the part where my beloved wife got sick and died as a result of abuse people hurled at her, it was great.
Is there anything about your presidency that you would change?
Sometimes I think that vetoing the bill would have extended the life of that second national bank by 20 years was a bad choice, seeing as it kind of, maybe sort of, caused massive inflation. It kind of just got rid of any central control of federal funds, and perhaps caused the economic collapse and panic of 1837. That would later go on and be debated as most disastrous fiscal policy ever. But I had to do it. That bank was threatening my re-election. So, yeah, other than that, I think I nailed that whole presidency thing.
That's pretty rough. How do you think America benefited from your presidency?
Well, not to toot my own horn here, but I was definitely the most democratic president this nation had seen yet. And not to mention, I sort of laid the foundation for all of American politics. I also helped expand executive power. I may have been accused of being a tyrant once or twice, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Am I right? I think I have, like, some tuberculosis. Oh, God, no.
Oh my. Well, thanks for watching True APUSH Stories. See you next time.
It's just a decimal.